Ghana's quest to attain a cashless economy continues in earnest. Since 2007, the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement System has been rolling out technologically driven products that ensures that payment is instant, is fast, and easy. The latest addition to its bouquet of products is the Ghana Universal QR Code. Now, this particular system ensures that you do not necessarily have to withdraw money from your mobile money wallet or your bank account to pay physically when you're buying wache or you're buying coconut by the roadside. And so today we'll speak to the Chief Executive of the Ghana Interbank Payment Systems, Mr. Achi Hersi. He will give us the hows and whys of the Universal QR Code, which Ghana launched somewhere in March of last year. You launched the Universal QR Code in last year. It looks like not much has been said about it. So you want to tell us exactly the purpose that this latest innovation is going to serve?
As you rightly said, Maurice, we've been looking at ways to reduce the on-bank as well as come up with products and services that would encourage individuals and corporates within the country to transact using electronic means. In the past 13 years or so, we've realized that majority of the products and services that we have developed for the country supports the transfer of funds from either a bank account to a bank account or to a bank account to a wallet, vice versa, etc. But when it comes to purchasing, buying things, we as Ghanaians, we still heavily use cash for most of our purchases. And it's because it's very expensive for every shop to have a point of sale. You know, the machine that you can use your card. So in other jurisdictions, especially in Asia, what they are doing now to mitigate against the high cost of the point of sale is to use the QR code. The QR code is the black and white signs that you see here. Now, this QR code represents your point of sale, and that's basically what it is. It doesn't cost a lot for the QR code to be generated for a merchant. So we embarked on the journey with all the various stakeholders in the country. We're talking about the banks, the mobile money companies, and the fintechs. Before we started, there were one or two banks and a mobile money company and a fintech company that's already started the journey. But their QR code was solo. It was very specific to the organization. So what that means is that if they develop or they roll out their QR code, it's only customers of those banks or mobile money companies that can actually use them. And we've always been looking at universal products for the country. So we came together and developed one for Ghana that when rolled out, everybody will be able to use it. And that was a GHQR code that we launched sometime last year in March. The other feature as well that we incorporated was that we realized that with the black and white squares that you see here, there's a need for you to have a smartphone and scan it. It's not everybody in the country that can afford a smartphone. So what we did was we had an associated terminal number at the bottom that if you have a USSD, you will be able to use it. So this channel called GHQR code rides on the mobile money interoperability platform that we rolled out a couple of years ago. And as you and I know, the mobile money interoperability has the following features. It happens in real time, which means if you move funds from one bank account into another, it happens instantly. So if you are a merchant and you have a QR code to receive funds, as soon as a customer pays you, you, the merchant, will receive the funds instantly. Because it rides on the mobile money interoperability platform, if you, a merchant, received your QR code from a bank It means that bank customers can pay you, or you can receive funds from bank customers, and you can also receive funds from mobile money customers as well as fintech wallet customers as well. So it's the funding source for payment is universal. You, the individual as well, will be able to receive your payment instantly.
I know some merchants receive mobile money. So if I enter a shop and they do both mobile money and the QR code, why should I do a QR code instead of the mobile money?
With the mobile money payment, if you go into a shop and you see mobile money A, it means that you must belong to that mobile money A. There is no interoperability between the mobile money merchant payments. So when you go to most retailers, they will have a mobile money number from telco A, another one from telco B, etc. But the GHQR is a universal one. So there is no need for merchants to have 2 or 3 mobile numbers from a particular telco. So this represents that. Equally, if you are a bank customer, that's the merchant, if you're a bank customer, instead of you having a point of sale device from your bank, the QR code also represents the point of sale device. So this is what we call the all-in-one. Once you have it, every customer in Ghana will be able to make payments, whether they have a smartphone or a feature phone, or whether they are the source of funds where your money resides is a bank account, it resides in the bank account, or a mobile wallet, or a fintech wallet. You'll be able to make payments. And what is important as well is that for the customer, it is free for you to make payment. And this, we have actually accepted this payment method, or this free payment, to encourage customers to use it. In the case of other payment methods, there is a percentage fee that needs to be paid. But with the GHQR, all payments for the customer is free.
So if I'm a customer, I want to use the GHQR code, what is the process like? Where do I need to go? Who do I need to talk to for help?
Right. If you are a customer and you belong to a bank, your bank maybe have a mobile app. If they do have a mobile app and you have a smartphone, you'll be able to go onto the Play Store, depending on whether you have an Android phone or an iOS phone, load your bank's mobile app, and you actually see the GHQR code there. If you don't, most banks also do have a USSD version. So as a customer, you can either link your mobile app to your bank account or your USSD to your bank account. Or if you are a mobile wallet customer, you can link the mobile app of your telco provider to your mobile wallet account, or the USSD to your mobile wallet account. Once that setup has been done, then you are ready to go. Equally, if you are a merchant and you want to receive payments via GHQR code, you can either go to your bank and they will set one up for you. When we talk about setting one up for you, what they are doing is linking your QR code to your bank account. If it happens that you are a mobile wallet customer as well, as we're talking about merchant, the same process applies. They will link your QR code to your mobile wallet account. Or if it's a fintech account, they will also link it to your fintech account, and you are ready to receive payments via this method.
So one of the challenges, as you said earlier, is that our innovations have helped us to transfer money. But when it comes to payment, it's been a challenge. Now that we've solved that challenge, what will be the next phase of deployment in terms of innovations? Or maybe at this point we want to relax?
Well, not relax. There's nothing like relax in this world. There are a couple of steps that we have to take. Step number 1 is that we need to ensure that all financial institutions, we're talking about banks, the mobile money wallets, and the fintech companies provide the GHQR for all their merchants. So whether if you are a merchant and you receive payments, please contact your bank or your fintech company or your mobile money company to provide you with a GHQR decal, like a display, to receive payments. For customers as well, there's a need for you to know your service provider, your payment service provider's USSD, and link it to your source of funds, either in the bank or at the mobile money company, and equally link your mobile app to your bank account. Once those two has been done, then we are ready to transact. From our end and in the industry, there's a need for us to educate all of us to know where they are and how we can use it. There is also a need for us to also have engagement with government. Maybe look at the agri sector, the transport sector, and ensure that anywhere where payments are received, we have educated them enough and they know exactly what to do in order for them to have access or to be given a GHQR code for them to receive payments. There are three different types of the GHQR code. We have the type where after having scanned or dialed, if you use a USSD way of payment, you then type in the amount and then you press go and payments are effected. I'm sure this type would lend itself nicely to most of the retailers that you and I shop. There is another type as well where after you have scanned it, there is a fixed amount embedded in there. So I'm sure this type of payment will also lend itself to the transport sector where and other areas where fixed amount payments are made. Maybe it could be the cinema, where when you go there, the fee for the show is the same. So once you scan, a fixed amount is deducted electronically from your account. In terms of the different uses, I'm sure industry over time will look at different ways different ways to use it. We then have the tool that I have described is what we call the static versions, which means they are the same. Then we have the dynamic version that keeps changing, keep moving, which is for each transaction, a new QR code is generated specifically for that transaction. When you scan it, the amount will then be shown on your screen. And then when you press play, the payments will automatically be effected. I strongly believe that this dynamic form will be used for large supermarkets as well as the e-commerce area, where if you buy things online, when you press total, the total will then generate. But I'm sure most of the retailers will need to talk to the fintech companies in town to develop a front end receiving end, and they can then link it to the.
Does a QR code have limits as to how much you can pay when you shop?
Like I said earlier on, the QR code rides on the Gibbs Instant Pay and the mobile money interoperability solution. So, typically, when it comes to limits, the limits are set between the customer and the service provider. So I believe that if there is going to be a limit, it's going to vary from person to person and bank to bank. But the limit is not being set by the center, that's Gibbs, no.
Is industry responding favorably, especially for the telcos? I mean, you say that it will be better for you to use QR code instead of mobile money because of the charges. Are they willing to get on board? And what are you doing to make sure that they get on board?
Before we started on the universal GHQR code, there were one bank that have started rolling it out. And experience from that bank was that it wasn't as effective as they had envisaged. Why? Because all their merchants were only waiting for customers from their bank. So it was only prudent that you adopt the universal standard where everybody else can use it. So that's where you have a lot of traffic coming in. If you have a payment receiving solution and you are waiting for a specific type of customers from your service provider, you are limited. So it only makes sense that we all adopt the universal one. It's in that regard why all the banks have embraced it and they are working towards it. It's a shame that during the months of December, in the world of IT, we have what we call the shutdown period, where no new developments are made. So as we speak, I believe we have roughly 23 banks in Ghana, and we have about 12 or 13 or so banks that have completed it, and they are indeed offering their customers the service. The rest are working to complete the certification. I believe that by end of February, we must have all of them on board. When it comes to the telcos as well, we have 2 that's completed. The other 2 or 3 are also working on it, and the fintechs are equally working. I strongly believe that by February, we should have about 80 to 85% of the payment service providers ready and offering the service to their customers.
What about the ordinary Ghanaian? Are they receiving this innovation favorably? We only saw the Vice President buy Wachiwede some time ago, but how are they responding to it?
Yeah, they are, in terms of adoption, Ghanaians, with the invent of mobile money payments transfer, we are all used to making payments using mobile money now. Initially, it was we're using it to transfer from P to P, that's for a person to a person. But I think just before the COVID came in, a couple of merchants with mobile money as well were also accepting payments if you had mobile money. I believe that there were instances where you've asked a merchant, do you accept mobile money? And they'll say yes. Others might say no. So I think as a country, we were slowly moving into beginning to accept mobile money as an alternative to cash. And when COVID came in and we realized that the cash was actually one of the medium by which you can actually contract the virus, everybody's rightly or wrongly gravitated towards mobile money payment. So as a country, we are used to or have started, cultivating the habit of paying electronically. If you go to a lot of churches, you will see that there's a mobile money number at the church where payments are being effected. I believe that all these payment channels are going to be replaced by the GHQR so that it will become universal for everyone, and it will avoid having multiple payment channels at various payment locations.
Finally, you tell me that the kind of QR code that we have is even more advanced than what some Asian countries have. Why so? What makes it so unique?
When it comes to QR code, the countries that are in the lead, we're talking about Singapore, India, and I think China. In China, the QR code is mainly offered by WeChat and Alipay. So if you're a WeChat customer, you can only pay to WeChat QR code and vice versa. Ours is universal, as I said earlier on. When you look at Singapore, theirs is very much similar to us. It's built on both the card, the instant, and it's everybody else too can use it. And I think Indian is also very much similar to ours. We were mindful of the fact that merchants would like to receive their funds instantly. When you pay with cards, the merchants receive their funds the following day. But with most small-scale merchants, they want to have access to their funds instantly. And I'm sure most of the large ones too, but the payment method that we have was the card and the point of sale. And with the card rails, merchants will receive their funds the following day. So we had the following things in mind, that merchants would like to receive their funds instantly and of course be notified. We knew that there was a need for it to be universal, which means that all funding sources can use it. And also, thirdly, the need for us to have the smart phone version as well as the USSD version. So we have more or less incorporated all the three main, factors that most merchants would want. And the fact that you are receiving your funds instantly means that if in course of a day, you have sold 1,000 items at various prices, because it's instant, if you look in your bank accounts, your statement, you see 1,000 line items and associated total. So it helps in reconciliation, as opposed to I have sold 1,000 items, but 20 have been paid instantly, the rest will be paid tomorrow, and it sort of becomes a bit complex when it comes to reconciliation. So we believe that this would aid the reconciliations that most merchants have challenges with as well.
Are there any targets you've set for yourself by way of adoption, maybe time limits? When do you hope to see maximum adoption of the QR code?
Maximum adoption whereby everybody is using QR code in the country. I think I'll be, it would be very optimistic of me to say that. But what we have done is that we have the fact that the QR code can be used by bank customers, that happens to be large corporates, and we've also made provisions for mobile money customers as well as fintech customers, means that we are looking at rolling it out to the smallest, the SMEs as well, the coconut sellers, wache sellers, as you saw, as well as large corporates. So we believe that if in the next 3 years, 80% of purchases in Ghana is done electronically using the QR code, I think we've done very well.
Thank you very much. Mr. Achihesi is the CEO of the Ghana Interbank Payment and Settlement Systems. Thank you.